Here, Coach Jason Simpson as the Skyhawks set to take on Jacksonville State Saturday. Coach, before we get to the Jacksonville State game, let's talk about the other games in the Ohio Valley Conference. Number 8, Eastern Illinois over Eastern Kentucky. That was up in Charleston. 42-7, though. They ran out early and got the win.
Boy, they're good. They're good. We played them last game of the season, so we'll worry about that later on.
Tennessee State wins over Central State, 73-6. Don't know a lot about that game.
Yeah, I don't know. The stats were crazy. I mean, 700-something yards offense. So we don't have one of those on our schedule this year, so we'll just keep plugging along.
Tennessee Tech wins at home over Indiana State, 38-37. Indiana State's usually a formidable opponent.
No, they are. And what was weird about that game is Indiana State probably had like 600 yards offense, and Tennessee Tech only had like 300, and they were able to get the win.
And then the big score we were watching was Murray State at Jacksonville State. Murray wins that one 35-34 in overtime. I'm sure you've watched that film a million times. Tell us about that game.
Yeah. The stats were crazy. I mean, Jacksonville State had 600-something yards offense. Murray had right at 400. Murray only threw for 100 yards. When's the last time that, Murray only threw for 100 yards? But, Jacksonville State had gone into the game saying, you're not going to throw it. Go ahead and run it and see if you can run it enough on us to beat us. And the problem was Jacksonville State turned the ball over, I think it was 5 or 6 times. And then I saw them at least have 2 drop touchdown passes. So, they had a chance to put that game away. They really did. And it still went down to the last play. So that tells you, how good they are. They can have that many mistakes and still almost have a chance to win the game.
So now teams in the conference that are undefeated, Eastern Illinois, Tennessee State, UT Martin, and Murray, all 1-0. Austin P yet to play a conference game. Jacksonville State, Tennessee Tech, Eastern Kentucky, Southeast Missouri, all winless. Coach, tell me more about the Jacksonville State team.
Yeah, new coaching staff. Okay, so, there's no carryover from last year.
Which makes it tougher to scout.
It does. It does. It really does. You just know what you got off tape. And they actually have one of our assistant coaches on their staff on the defense side of the ball. So that's something we got to overcome as well. But very talented. They were very talented last year. I mean, they were. They just got out of sync on defense, and then they were having a tough time getting stops. But on offense, they've got a couple good running backs. They're playing 2 quarterbacks. I think they've rushed for 500 yards against somebody early in the year. So they're very multiple. They can throw the ball around. They concern me with their multiple quarterbacks, and we can be a little bit similar in our style of running game. They run outside zone, inside zone, so we're similar from that aspect. On defense, they're a little bit unorthodox, a little bit like us. They're going to play a three down front. Bring you some. Nothing's easy against them. I mean, you can't just raise up there and throw a stop route or throw a little bubble screen. They contest all throws. And then try to make you run the football and see if you can how many points can you score and without the clock running out on you.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a not only is there schematic issues and they do a good job causing you problems, then they got good players on top of that. So this is and I'm not downplaying Central Arkansas, but in my opinion, this is as good as Central Arkansas was, and this one's for a conference win.
You're getting them at your place, homecoming. I always tell this story, but I had one coach, and I asked him about homecoming on this program here at Snappy Tomato Pizza. We didn't have a stage yet, and I said, "What do you think about homecoming, Coach?" And he looked right at me and he said, "It's a distraction."
It's a distraction.
You take the other approach, though. Yeah, you like it. You call it one of the best weekends of the season.
It is. I wish every weekend was homecoming because the feel that we have around here on Saturday, homecoming, that's what every Saturday should feel like. It shouldn't be, I want it to where it's not just a Saturday, and there's a game.
Yeah.
No, it's the game is this Saturday. Okay, and that's what our homecoming is about here, and it's great tradition. It's the best FCS place I've ever been on homecoming, and I love that feeling, and I appreciate everybody that comes by and participates.
And Hall of Fame breakfast Saturday morning, and you always get to see, you have a lot of former players that come in to watch this game.
We do, and I know Coach Carroll's got a group that's coming in, I think the 57 through, right around 60, 61 group, and that's neat to see those gentlemen come back and their families and talk about our program, want to contribute financially to our program. Man, I appreciate that, and that makes me real proud. It really does.
Yeah, and even some of your players that you've coached, and it's hard to believe you've been here as long as you have been, but those guys have changed since 06.
They do. It's kind of funny now. I've been doing this long enough to where probably they're old enough now to where I'm not mad at them and they're still not mad at me. you missed the class or something like that. And so it's neat, and it really is rewarding. I know every coach in America likes that when players come back and they've got their wives and their kids with them, and they want to show off, show this is the place I played, and I don't blame them. I mean, I do the same thing with my kids. It's something to be proud of. Not everybody gets a chance to play Division I sports and be on scholarship or play at a four-year institution, and those guys, I'll be proud of that.
Our director of athletics, Phil Dane, always says that as time passes, you are a better player in your mind. Things. Is that true?
Oh, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is, and so but the thing about it is while your former players, or like your GAs, like the guys that Carr played with and Julius, the guys can't embellish too much because they know Carr.
All they do is
call it out on them.
Coach, what do we need to do going into Saturday's game?
Yeah. We've got their running game. We've got to make them throw the football. They got a couple backs I'm very weary of, and one of the backs I think it's number 32. He ran for 100-something yards against us last year. Okay, so we've got to control him, and defensively, offensively, we've got to be balanced. If they're going to leave five guys in the box, we've got to be able to run the football. You have to be, and then once they get to six, then when things get more balanced up, then we've got to be able to convert in the passing game and take care of the football. And Dylan's got to do a good job with that, and he's got to make some plays with his feet, and we've got to get touchdowns in the red zone, not field goals.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. We'll see you Saturday.
Appreciate you.
Coach Jason Simpson, when we come back, Charlie Deal joins us at Snappy Tomato Pizza. That game, 2 o'clock on Saturday. There's so much going on campus, though, with Quad City. They're going to have a zip line in the quad on Saturday. We'll tell you more about that with Charlie Deal in just a moment on the UT Martin Skyhawk Sports Network.